And welcome back to the Alf'Dawg Show. Anthony Alfred here. It's great to have you with me along as we preview the NBA Conference Finals and the Finals. And basically, that's been the whole sports story as well. I would talk about horse racing, but all I know is that the guy that the horse that won the Kentucky Derby did not win the Preakness. So no Triple Crown this year. No reason to care about who is going to win the Belmont and who won the Preakness. Who cares if there's no Triple Crown to witness? And welcome back to the Los Angeles Lakers. Really all four leftover teams in this year's conference finals. All who has had previous experience in the champ has all had previous experience in this top tier level. They only give me freaking 10 minutes a segment. Like, once I get going, oh, your time is up. You're at the 9:30 mark. Alright, you gotta wrap this up, buddy. Alright. So what's gonna happen in the Suns-Lakers series, which starts tomorrow night. Starts Monday night. Lakers will win it at 5. They will win it at 5. And yes, Phoenix has had a terrific season so far. The problem with Phoenix will not be, it's not their problem, but it's just with the talent presented to them. The matchups does not favor the Suns at all. The only matchup that favors the Suns is Steve Nash against Derek Fisher. Other than that, every other matchup favors, as a collective group, favors the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, Phoenix has Amari Stoudemire as a big man, but the Lakers have Gasol, Bynum, and Lamar Odom. And they have the best player on the court in Kobe Bryant. The matchups are just, in the NBA, really in all of sports, it's all about matchups. No matter how good your team is, there's always another team that quite simply the matchups don't favor you. Quite simply. And that's just the way it is. That is just the way it is. Sometimes matchups don't favor. And in this situation, with the Phoenix Suns, the matchups do not favor the Phoenix Suns at all. Now, this series, even though I said the Lakers will win this series in 5, you're not going to see blowouts in this series. You're not going to see that. What you're going to see is basically kind of, to me, it reminds me of last year's NBA Finals with Orlando against the Lakers last year. You had an Orlando team who just did not match up well with the Lakers, but because of the talent level, still competed hard. And you could have, and people forget about that final series a year ago. There were 2 games that went to overtime that could have, in Orlando, in one of those games, had a chance to win. If a tip would have bounced their way, forget overtime, they would have won. And you would have at least had it, and the series would have been completely different from a 5-game series. But been completely different. But but that's how this series is going to be. Phoenix is going to compete. It's going to be really like the Lakers Utah series. Utah competed in every game, but the matchups will simply and the talent of the Lakers will outweigh the heart, fight, and desire of the Phoenix Suns. It was just our matchup. And with that, the Lakers will win that series. My prediction, they will win that series in 5 games. Now, let's move on to the East. I'm already going to tell you that I'm not even... This computer is dirty. Yes, it is. This computer is dirty. It has all this dust. I'm going to clean it out, wipe the screen and stuff. Good thing the camera ain't dirty. You are watching the Alf'Dawg Show here on YouTube. It's our first episode here on YouTube. We did 2 shows back in the month of March on Justin TV. We did 2 episodes back then. It was more so of getting to know me personally and my values, but now we have moved over to YouTube. We'll still have them shows that deal with social stuff and all that, but primarily I cover sports. And we'll talk about the NBA, suck up as much of that as possible, because dear Lord knows that the worst part of the year is the summer, because all there is mid-season baseball. Now I love baseball. I really like pretty much all sports. Baseball is no exception. But when there's only my 2 loves really is football and basketball, and I run track and field, so I love that too. But when there's only baseball, we got ourselves a problem. So we're going to try to suck in, juice in all as much NBA as possible. Cover a little bit of baseball as well, if, you know. And I'm going to do an episode of baseball. We're going to address the problem with baseball. And baseball, to me, baseball has become a regional sport. Now, I don't have time to talk about that right now, but baseball has become a regional sport. And then get the draft. We'll talk about free agency, and then the All-Star game for baseball. And then just like that, I'm off to college at Bowling Green. Can't wait for that. And football season will be upon us. I really can't wait for that. So I had to suck up time there because I had nothing else to talk about that Phoenix Lakers series. Hopefully that's going to be a very good series. You have 2 previous MVPs playing. Steve Nash, who also won back-to-back MVPs, I believe in 05 and 06, and Kobe Bryant, possibly the best player in the world at what he does in that series. A lot of star power in that series. Coming up next segment, we're going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. You have a Boston Celtic team who won the championship 2 years ago and represents the East. And then you have an Orlando Magic team who in their 8, they swept both of their opponents this year. And not only swept them, but crushed them in almost every game. Talk about that next segment. This is the Alf'Dawg Show.